Obasanjo has started doing damage control against 2027 general election. The race for 2027 general election has begun. The enemies in the opposition have started coming together to form a formidable force against 2027 general election. How did I know? Now I will explain. Recall that before 2023 general election, Obasanjo came out and told us how Atiku was cruel in his dealings with him as a vice president. There was no name he didn't use to paint the image of Atiku in a bad light.
Your Excellency, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, my former colleague, if you like, you laugh. If you like, make you no laugh. Me, I know who my colleagues are. If you don't know who your colleagues are, now you're thorough. I will crave the indulgence of the Royal Majesties and Royal Highnesses that are here, distinguished senators and members of National Assembly that are here, to allow me to recognize in a special way to commend in a way that is very unique, to appreciate in the way that she must be appreciated, my sister, Mrs. Titi Atiku Abubakar. When I got the invitation to attend this anniversary, and when I was interviewed as I was coming in, I said, time flies. It's already 25 years when we brought this into what it is, not when it was incubated, as we heard from former Vice President, that it was incubated 30 years ago. But then, 4 groups of people worked hard to take it from incubation or from idea to reality that we have, and the tremendous work that has been done and great achievement over the past 5 years. Of course, the founder, Mrs. Titi Atiku Abubakar herself, we thank you. And we thank you again. My dear colleague, former Vice President, I thank you for thanking her. Because it's one thing for a woman to have an idea. It's another thing for her to get support, particularly at home. So we got home support, domestic support. I won't go into the other room support. I will also want to thank the National Assembly and the leadership of the National Assembly at that time. Former Vice President has referred to some of them who gave support. One of them is looking at me with koro eye now. Minister, Governor Sule Lamido, I'm referring to the man on your right hand. I won't mention him. We thank you and your members who gave the support that was needed at that time. So we have the domestic support, home support. We have the legislative support. And then, of course, the executive support was not lacking. And then together, we were able to achieve what today we are celebrating. I believe the lesson from there as the former Vice President said, is that when we have all hands on deck, a lot can be achieved for the good of this country. But when we look back, we see how many have benefited from the idea, inspirational commitment of Madam Titi Atiku Abubakar. So whoever says one person does not matter. You can see that one person with the right idea and doggedly pursued can achieve a lot. And of course, one person with devilish idea, again, doggedly pursued, can do a lot of harm. I come here to thank and celebrate the founder, and to celebrate what has been achieved, and to felicitate with those who have benefited from saving them from trafficking, human trafficking, saving them from child labor. It was a blot on Nigeria. That you go to Italy, you go to Spain, and you see what they do with our young girls. And you came up believing something can be done about it. And you started, and something was being done about it, and is being done about it. At that time, I was worried. We even appealed to the Pope in the Vatican to help us. We appealed to governments in Europe to help us. Some didn't believe that they should help us. But of course, like in all things, the best help is self-help. The best help is self-help. And I remember, just to amuse you a bit, when in 1999, we were campaigning. And Alex Ekweme was a candidate, or not a candidate. He was campaigning to become a candidate, and I was campaigning to become a candidate. I believe that's what happened. Then I went to him, and I said, Alex, look, the road to get to your house is very bad. Why don't you allow me to be president? And one of the first things I will do is to take care of the road to your house. And he said to me, yes, the lesson I told him I learned, that what you can do for yourself, don't give it to other people to do for you. He will not want me to do it for him. He will want to do it for himself. Self-help is the best help. And we need help, self-help in many areas of our life in this country today. And unless we help ourselves, looking for help outside may not get us there. And we have men and women, young and not so young, at home and abroad, that can come together and give ourselves self-help that we need to take Nigeria out of the rot that we have, to take Nigeria out of the hardship that we have, to make Nigeria what God has created it to be, a land flowing with milk and honey. And I'm here just to say, not that I have a dream, because I'm not a dreamer. I'm an action man. And I believe that we can act together and get Nigeria to where it should be. That is the lesson that my sister, Titi Atiku Abubakar, has taught us with WOTCLEF. Thank you, and thank you.
Anchored by our dear President Joe. So, the emergence of a beacon of hope for our most vulnerable. WOTCLEF arose from a profound need for change to grim realities faced by so many, where innocent often fell victim to human trafficking and child labor and abuse. At the heart of this initiative was my beloved wife, Her Excellency Amina Titilayo Atiku Abubakar, who recognized the urgency to become a voice for the voiceless upon my swearing in as Vice President. As I stand here today, her unwavering dedication to combating human trafficking and child labor has changed countless lives. She did not merely witness the suffering of women and children, she took decisive action to lead the charge for change. Faced with the ravages of the HIV/AIDS epidemic and the scars left by years of military dictatorship, Titi envisioned a better future, a future where democratic governance reignites hope and empowers every individual to reclaim their dignity and rights. WOTCLEF stands as a testament not only to her compassion, but also to the transformative power of our democratic journey. Reflecting on our past, let us acknowledge the incredible strides made through this organization and its partners. Thanks to WOTCLEF's advocacy, we witnessed the establishment of NAPTIP. NAPTIP is a national agency for the prohibition of trafficking in persons and other related matters. This agency has become a vital ally in our national fight against the heinous crime of trafficking in persons. I take this moment to express our profound gratitude to members of both chambers of the National Assembly for their decisive action on July 7, 2003, in passing the WOTCLEF-sponsored private member bill that laid the foundation for the Trafficking in Persons Prohibition Law Enforcement and Administration Act 2003, which birthed NAPTIP. Never have we witnessed a private initiative that was recognized by law in this nation. This legislative milestone prioritized the protection of our most vulnerable citizens. Furthermore, I want to extend our profound and most heartfelt appreciation to my former boss and boss for life, to President Olusegun Obasanjo, 1999 to 2007, for his swift assent to the WOTCLEF bill, which prohibited women trafficking and child labor in Nigeria. His courageous leadership fostered the environment that energized WOTCLEF's mission, reinforcing our democratic values while delivering vital hope to our downtrodden communities. Subsequent Nigerian presidents and members of the National Assembly have carried forward this noble effort, recognizing the urgency of combating women trafficking and child labor. The Presidency and National Assembly, in an unprecedented show of executive and legislative collaboration, diligently scrutinized the 2003 Act, and in a bid to correct some of its observed deficiencies, repealed and reenacted a more encompassing one, which was signed into law by President Dr. Jonathan Goodluck on March 26, 2015. The new act re-established NAPTIP as a federal agency devoted to fighting the most egregious violations of women's and children's rights. Together, these actions highlight the strength of collaborative governance and our collective will to build a safer, fairer society for all. As we celebrate WOTCLEF's achievements, let us also recognize and highlight the intangible gifts it has bestowed upon our society. 1, awareness and education. WOTCLEF has tirelessly campaigned at all levels, raising awareness about the harsh realities of human trafficking and child labor, educating countless individuals about their rights and available resources. 2, partnerships. The Foundation has forged invaluable partnerships with local and international organizations, NGOs, and development agencies, uniting resources and expertise to effect meaningful change. 3, rescue and rehabilitation. Most importantly, WOTCLEF has been pivotal in rescuing and rehabilitating victims, restoring hope and dignity to lives shattered by exploitation. Yet, our work is far from complete. As we celebrate the triumphs of WOTCLEF over the past 25 years, we must also confront the challenges that lie ahead. The journey to eradicate human trafficking and child labor remains fraught with obstacles, and it is our collective responsibility to tackle them. Awareness and education. Despite our progress, many Nigerians remain unaware of the signs and consequences of trafficking and child labor. We must enhance our outreach efforts, particularly in rural areas where ignorance and poverty abound. Resources and funding. The fight demands substantial resources, both financial and human. We need continued funding for prevention programs, community support initiatives, and legal aid for victims. Strengthening law enforcement. Effective law enforcement is critical. We must provide ongoing training and support to law enforcement agencies to ensure they can effectively identify, investigate, and prosecute perpetrators. Addressing root causes. Poverty and lack of opportunity fuel trafficking. We must adopt comprehensive approaches to tackle the socio-economic factors that contribute to these issues, such as gender inequality and insufficient access to education and health care. Advocacy and policy reform. While we have made progress, continuous advocacy is vital to enforce existing laws and develop new policies that prioritize the protection of vulnerable populations. As WOTCLEF navigates these challenges, let us draw strength from the shared vision that unites us. Together, we have the power to create a Nigeria free from the grips of human trafficking, where every woman and child can live in safety, dignity, and hope. Each of us has a role to play, no matter how small, in this essential endeavor. To Her Excellency, my wife, Atiku Abubakar, thank you for your indomitable spirit and for your unwavering belief in the possibility of change. Your legacy is one of compassion, resilience, and impact. Together, let us commemorate this milestone and renew our commitment to the vision of WOTCLEF, a vision that will guide us resolutely into a brighter future. Let us continue advocating for policies that protect the rights of women and children, challenging systematic inequalities, and eradicating the scourge of child labor. Today, we recommit ourselves to these efforts. Let us draw inspiration from Titi's legacy of service, her unwavering courage, and her resolute spirit. As we look ahead, let us harness our collective strength to engage all segments of society, governments, businesses, and communities, advocating for actionable solutions that uplift our most vulnerable citizens. In the years to come, I am confident that Nigerians will build upon the foundation laid by Her Excellency Titi and the compassionate individuals dedicated to WOTCLEF's mission. Let us ensure that no child is denied an education and that no woman suffers through trafficking and exploitation in silence. Let us eliminate the shadows of trafficking and exploitation from our society. Let us unite in purpose and action. Together we can forge a future where dignity, justice, and hope triumph for every Nigerian. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of this celebration and for your dedication to this noble cause. Together, let us continue the fight, empowering our citizens and building the society we dream of. I thank you for coming, and I thank you for being part of this struggle. Let me acknowledge some of the individuals that I might have not mention in my opening remarks. Her Excellency Mrs. Mariam Abacha, His Excellency Governor Sule Lamido, His Excellency Governor Aruna Boni, and Senate President Pius Anyim. I thank you all for coming. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Andy, kindly sign off the last speaker. Thank you.
Obasanjo has started doing damage control against 2007 general election. His marriage with Atiku seems to be getting very, very strong. The former president and the former vice president are now running in unity. They are not trying to unite against the forthcoming general election. Because as we speak, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is showing their Shege Banza, and they are saying that they can use this opportunity to form a formidable force and prey on Nigerians. And pray. Now, they have not seen that Nigerians are not very angry with this president. So they think, from what I'm seeing, they think it is the best time to take advantage of the environment now and make a new turn in the political terrain. Let's see how the event turns out. Let's see how events turns out as we approach 2027 general election.